Not sure if you're familiar with Ephesians 6 and the armor of faith there, the armor of the Spirit for the spiritual warfare. And if you're not, then listen to some good teaching on that, because it is a very, very useful and important thing in life. And welcome to the simple truth from the Word of God this morning. Hope you're up. I hope you're ready. So let's go. Ephesians 6:16 says, above all, taking the shield of faith. It says more than that, but that's what we're going to look at right now. Above all, taking the shield of faith. And God is saying, look, I have a protection for you against all accusations of the devil, against every condemnation, and it is faith, and that will protect you. And yeah, so there's much explanation behind that, which we're not going to go into. But if I live without faith, if I am living not in the Spirit as a believer, if I am not living in the Spirit, if I'm not walking in the Spirit, then very easily it could happen that I find that I need to protect myself some way, because I am not learning about the shield of faith. And I'm very grateful for my teachers and preachers who I learned from, because this was one of the early lessons in my life. And protecting myself, maybe one of the best ways of protecting myself from the reality of my sin is judgment, actually. And this is one of our best ways of dealing with the sin problem without dealing with it. Yeah, there you go. And we definitely don't like any solution as much as the solution which doesn't solve things. That's really how we function oftentimes. This is why some people are so judgmental. Even believers are so judgmental. They have long realized that as long as they can cast judgment first on the other person, the other's judgment towards them will not hurt that much, will not matter that much, because their own soul will tell them, hey, it doesn't matter what they say, they're already condemned, you already realize their weakness, you already realize their lack of strength, so how could they have the strength to judge you if they don't even have the strength to resist their sin? I mean, they're just worthless sinners, they cannot judge you, you judged them before, and therefore their judgment now doesn't have any weight. And this is seemingly a great way to protect ourselves from the burden of our sin and from condemnation and having to face things. So if we have a soul which is trying to escape condemnation on its own without the help of God, then that kind of soul can absolutely realize what great value there is in being judgmental. Because being judgmental is like their personal defense shield. It is their personal way of protecting themselves from any and all judgment, because, hey, I have already judged you. Why would it matter what you say? And that's kind of a crazy way. I mean, it's funny, judgmental. The second part of that word is mental, and really that's what this all is. It's a totally mental thing. It's crazy. Excuse me. And I would just like to say, perhaps you have learned this technique, and perhaps you have allowed your soul to learn it. Okay, maybe that's how I should say it. Then it's time to unlearn it. It's time to let it go. You will lose so much in your life if you don't. God has given us a better way, a better defense mechanism than this. This is what we come up with, but this doesn't work as well as the real stuff. The real stuff is what we read in the beginning, Ephesians 6:16. Above all, take on the shield of faith, and God will teach you about the value of that, because God is capable of doing that. Let me just read in closing Psalm 91 verse 4. He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings shall you trust. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. That's who God is for us. He's enough of a defense. We do not need to get involved with this kind of defense mechanism. It just doesn't do any good for us really in the long run. And God bless your day with that truth.